Some say it was the biggest match in U.S. men's soccer history, and I would have a hard time disagreeing. Welcome back to the Sports Fall. Jersey Joe Archino here, and of course last night we had Argentina taking on the U.S. men's national team in the Copa America semifinals, and honestly, it was everything that I expected it to be. I mean, Argentina's victory was never in question for a second. I know that all the analysts on Fox Sports were picking Team USA, and look, I love Team USA. I root for them as hard as anyone, but it's just not realistic to pick them against a side like Argentina. The way I boil that match down to is for U.S. men's soccer, because I think a lot of people come with the reaction from the match where they lost 4-0, that it's a step backwards, it's an indictment on U.S. men's soccer, and I don't think it's an indictment at all. It's not a step forward, but it's not a step back. It is exactly what it was, losing to the best player in the world and losing to the best team in the world. Now, is Team USA ever going to be at the level of where they can compete with an Argentina? No, they won't. We are what we are, and that's okay. Not everyone is going to be in Argentina. Not everyone is going to have their best athletes going into soccer. I mean, when you look at Argentina, they put out some athletes from some other good sports, basketball, the other one that comes to mind immediately. But I think more than anything, they are born and bred from the young age to play soccer, and we have athletes that play all different kinds of sports. We have versatility, we have more options at our hands. Our best athletes are not always going to go to soccer. Now, is that going to change as the game becomes more and more increasingly popular? Yes, I think the U.S. men's national team will be more competitive, but will never be Argentina. And again, that's okay. As long as we can be competitive and we can make a foothold in these matchups, that's all that I think we can ask for at times. It's one of those things where when you look at a match like this, you just have to kind of take it for what it is. The U.S. men's national team was going into that match, and not for a second did I ever believe they were going to win. Not for a second did I ever think it was going to be close. And that didn't upset me, because I know what we are, and that is just fine. Because Argentina has the best player in the world, the best type of other players. I mean, I think you look at Landon Donovan in his commentary for that game, and one of the things he was mentioning was a guy like Sergio Aguero, where Aguero has the fastest goal per minute when he comes on the Premier League in the history of that league, and he's a guy who can't even get on the pitch to play for Argentina. I mean, that right there just really says it all. I mean, we saw Messi at his best in that game, and I'm glad that everyone kind of got to see Messi at his best in that game. I mean, the free kick that he took was just the literally a literal epitomization of perfection. What Messi did to score that goal was just incredible, but that's what we expect. You know, you have to put it all in terms of what your actual expectations are and what the reality of situations are. The expectations and the reality, I mean, look, do we expect Team USA to continue to get better? Yes. But in the reality of things, are they really ever going to be good enough to compete with the top tiers of Argentinas and the European powerhouses? Probably not. And I've said it many times, and I'll say it again. I don't have a problem with it. As long as we're always competitive, which we always will be, because we have players who will always be at the college level, and we have the MLS here, and we have different other options where you can pursue soccer and play competitively. So we will always have be able to field a competitive team, which is great, but we're never going to be at the top of the mountain. And you can't be the best at everything in life. It's just the way it is. In the NBA and in terms of world basketball and so many other sports, we are the best in the world. But soccer has not historically been our game. It is becoming increasingly more popular. And that's the reason why the Argentinas, the Germanys, the European powers of the world are always going to dominate it over us. And it's one of those things where when you look at it from a realistic standpoint, got no problem with it. I think it was a great match last night to just be able to watch and just see what we would do. How would we would react to an Argentina? Of course, some of the lineup had to be changed a little bit because some guys who were unable to go in that one, Jurgen Klinsmann kind of trying some things out, and it did play out the way I did. I mean, it's funny. Did the Fox Sports people really think that the Team USA was going to beat Argentina? No, probably not. But I mean, it's difficult. You don't want to go on the air and pick against the USA to win. If I had to make the pick, I always like to be honest, so I probably still would have gone with Argentina with a saddened heart. But it's one of those things where when you go out there and you make that pick and you try to sound that convincing, well, people are going to kind of question it. And I think more than anything, when you looked at that match yesterday, not for a second was Argentina's victory ever in doubt. It's just the way it is. We saw Messi at his best. You saw every reason from his scoring touch to his ability to set people up and offer opportunities. That is what Messi is, and that's why Argentina is the best in the world. But tonight we do have Colombia taking on Chile. I expect fully Chile to win that match. Now, it'll be a little bit more competitive, but even Colombia I don't have the strongest feeling on, so I do think Chile gets out of that one relatively easy. And then we have a rematch of what we had exactly last season. If you're an Argentina supporter, Argentina and Messi especially just look so much more rested and flowing so much better. I thought he looked exhausted, emotionally and physically drained during the Copa America competition last summer. I mean, and when you look at it, with all the amount of matches that he plays, there's a reason for that. I mean, he's in every competition: Copa del Rey, La Liga matches, Champions League matches, the World Cup matches, the Club World Cup matches. He plays everything. So he has so much. In this season, he was out the 7 to 8 months with the injury. So he didn't play as much, and I think now you're seeing that's why he looks fresher, and I think that's going to be the ultimate difference when these two teams face off against each other again. And I think Argentina, kind of as a team, is certainly playing better too. Everything just looks to be clicking for them, but we will see how Colombia and Chile pans out. But I fully expect Argentina to win this competition. Messi is in the ultimate form. He really didn't play all the matches for Argentina during this tournament, but when he has come on, he has been incredible, and I think you saw last night the statement that they made. But again, for you, Team USA, that lost Argentina, it's not an indictment on U.S. soccer, on the progress, on the lack of it. Again, it's not a step forward, it's not a step backward. It's losing to the best in the world, and we are what we are, and there's nothing wrong with what we are and what we stand for. It's just the nature of the game. But until the next time, Jersey Joe Archino here with the Sports Fall. You can follow me on Twitter at Joe Archino and on Instagram, Jersey_Joe_Archino, and I'll see everybody next time.